Daf Yomi Chulin and Nun Zayin. Rabbis must Paskin only when they have knowledge of all areas that affect the specific shaila. Sometimes a shaila is clearly well within the range of a rabbi's knowledge. It's purely a halachic shaila. Should you wait 6 hours after meat, 5 hours in a minute, 3 hours, 1 hour? So he has to know all the different shitot. Is the person Ashkenaz, Sfard, German, know his background, where he's from, what his Masorah is. The person has to just know the halachic information here and the background of the person and hopefully put two and two together. And many shilas are that way, but certain shilas involve knowledge of certain areas outside the Dalit Amot of the halacha. So, for example, in our Gemara in Chulin, pasking on an animal whether it's treif or not, a person must know the anatomy of the animal and how it functions, how it works, how the lungs work, are the lungs protected well, not protected well by the ribs, and if it goes ahead and falls, do we assume that now the lung is injured or not? And the lung, of course, applies to whether it's a lung of an animal, cattle, sheep, or a bird. We need to know the anatomy. Chizkiah in our Gemara, Nun Zay, made certain statements about fowls, about the anatomy of fowls and the lungs, what the Gemara said about him in a joking way. Rashi says Duhusa, but the Gemara says that we see that he didn't really have expertise and knowledge in the area of fowls. That wasn't his baby. Therefore, he could only paskin if he acquires that knowledge. And this is true in so many areas. The rabbi's paskening on smoking. Can a person smoke cigarettes or not? He must be acquainted with the facts, the statistics about lung cancer and cigarettes. And only then can he paskin. Go person, rabbi paskins on certain hair from a sheitel is idolatrous. Well, he better go ahead and know what does that mean? If the hair is from India, what is the practice over there? What's the hair used for? Is it really used for idolatrous practice or not? So a rabbi must be very well acquainted with any area which is touched by that specific halach that he's addressing. And if in the Gemara, Nun Zayin Amud Aleph and Chulin, the Gemara is critical of Chizkiah and saying that's not his expertise. One of the great rabbis from thousands of years ago, well, all the more so now. The rabbi shouldn't go ahead and just assume he knows something if he does not know it, he's not aware of it. It's Hashem, every rabbi should always have the knowledge and paskin with chachma and bina and dat. Shalom.